Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to you. My name's Richard. Welcome to TheFirstLayer, the channel that is your foundation to a great 3D print. And I hope that that's what we're going to do here in 2023. We got a few people with us today. We've got, who else we got in here today? We've got Fly for Jesus. We've got Andy Mock. We have our good friend Tim DeWitt 3D Canada, who is also our moderator in the chat as well. Yes, it's going to be a great year. Just this second, I got power to my 0.2 watt over UART for the first time ever. Awesome. Awesome. So, let me know if the music is too loud today. There's a few things I want to do. I see we've got people coming in and watching and nobody's saying much. I hope everybody had a good celebration over the holidays. You stuffed yourself full of turkey and ham and all the trimmings, and you got some great gifts from the man Santa Claus. Hey, there's Ricky B. Hello, Ricky B. Welcome to the show today. This is our first show of 2023, and we're off to a good start. I've got my drink. Hey, there's RT. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My drink is almost empty, as you can see. I am diving into the JD, which is my preferred drink. And those of my friends that are with us today, they know that. The local guys around here know that's my drink of choice. So, wow. Let's do a couple of things here. First and foremost, I want to put up the toll-free number today. And there it is. It is 855-891-4275. If you get a busy signal or just continually rings, just hang up and try your call again, just because I'm still working on that. So the number is 855-891-4275. You can call in today if you want to just say Happy New Year. If you've got a question, you can call in today. That is always a good thing. I'll be here answering the phone. We don't have somebody to answer the phone for me, so please, again, I would appreciate decorum when you're calling in. It is always a good thing. I appreciate that very, very much. So who am I? Well, this is me. You guys know that. I'm going to be here with you every week. I've got a lot of great things to do this year. I've been, over the last couple of weeks, I've been planning like crazy. I've been putting things in place to have ourselves a great, great year. Good friend Andy Mock says, Kim Mitchell says, got decisions between lager and ale. Yes. Kim Mitchell, a great Canadian singer-songwriter. And I got to tell you, I met him one year at the Junos when I was invited to go to the Junos, and what an amazing guy. What an amazing guy. Partied with him a little bit. He was quite an amazement. Great guy to hang out with. So what can you guys expect in 2023? Well, hey, there's my lovely wife, Geraldine Ham. She's going to be moderating today as well. She says, Happy New Year to everyone. What can you guys expect? Well, we're getting back to doing our weekly content. I am getting back to doing weekly content. There's no longer a we except for Jerry and myself, my lovely wife, Geraldine. And she has a full-time job now, so that's great. I love it. And she's out and about every day, so she doesn't get the time to help me script and things like that. But I've got that all covered now, so that is a great thing. So what do you guys expect? You're going to see hardware on the show that you've never seen here on the First Layer before in 2023. I've been in contact with some brand new companies that I've never looked at before. I've never tried their printers. I've seen them online, but have never used them, and they seem to have a good foothold in the marketplace. So we're going to be talking about some very cool printers this year. We're going to talk more about materials. And speaking of materials, first and foremost, let's say hello to Michael Castle. Hey, everyone, he says. And there's DeWitt sending Jerry a lovely little hey, Jerry, and a winky smiley face. And at least he's not sending her kisses like I do to his wife. So in any case, so you're going to see more materials. And speaking of materials, I got to tell you guys that our material supplier for 2023 is filaments.ca. They are a family-owned business out of Mississauga, Ontario. They make their own filament. They are the largest source for filament in Canada, and they make the most filament in Canada, to my knowledge. So we're going to do more problem solving again this year. We're going to get back to what we do best, and that's helping you with your problems. The thing that we got away from 2022, I don't want to look back at 2022 too much, because it was just a poop show of a year. Things happened, and we're just going to let 2022 go, and we're going to look forward to 2023. We've got a brand new episode coming out on Wednesday about Simplify 3D version 5. We're going to be doing a lot more videos around Simplify 3D version 5 in the coming months. I was going to do them all back to back. Hey, there's Joseph Jolly. Hello, everyone, he says. And no, I wanted to do them back to back, and then I kind of thought about it, and I went, no, let's interspace some other stuff in there. We've got a great new printer showing up from Lowellsbot, which will be here on Tuesday. It was supposed to be here on Friday, but it won't be arriving until Tuesday. Kind of reminds me of that Star Trek movie where everything was getting installed on Tuesday. But it will be here on Tuesday, and we're going to do some videos around that. We'll be using it here in the studio quite often, so you'll see it featured in some of our project videos. We are going to be doing the full implementation of the call-in feature. Again, if you are not aware of what that number is, if you wanted to call in today, you could. And you can call in to 855-891-4275. That is toll-free. You don't pay any money for it, but you can call in and either send us a greeting for this year, or you can certainly, by all means, ask me a question. I always love to answer questions. Fly for Jesus says, you can't help me with my problems, believe me. Well, I'm not a psychologist, but I can help you with your 3D printing problems. And there's DeWitt giving love and hugs, or my wife giving love and hugs to Tim. Andy Maki says, my Ender 5 Pro is still stock after 2 years. The only upgrade I plan on still doing is a flex plate. That's a great upgrade, Andy. I think I'm a glass and glue stick guy, but flex plate, for those guys that are printing a lot, it's really quick and easy. I've been using it a lot on my Prusa Mark III. And it just pops stuff off. I've got a great project coming up. I'll be covering the 50 projects this year. I've got 50 projects planned for this year. And those projects include a wall unit or a wall organization unit. We've got some other fun stuff. But most of the stuff that I'll be doing this year in terms of projects are all going to be projects that are centered around stuff that you can use, stuff that you can make that is useful to you. Yeah, we're still going to print our squishy beavers and stuff, but we're going to do stuff that's more of a use and stuff that you can actually add into your own repertoire. Hey, there's Ricky B. He says, hello, Gary or Jerry. Fly for Jesus, it's probably wise, Andy. Every time I mod, there's a lot of time and frustration before stuff start working again. You know, Fly for Jesus, you're not wrong about that. There is a lot of stuff that that can go wrong, and I'm hoping this year I can help you with that transition to make things much, much easier for you. Hey, there's our good friend Rex Waldy. We haven't seen him in a while. All the best in 2023, y'all. Thank you very much, Andy. A cheers to you as well. Andy Mock, he says, that was Star Trek Generation, photon torpedoes, and the rest will be installed on Tuesday. Yes, but my drink is almost empty, so I'm going to install some more Jack Daniels in it in about 2 seconds. I'm day drinking, something I don't typically do. So we got more useful projects coming your way. And we're going to do more finishing projects. I know a lot of people, they want to know how to do stuff like this. And I want to show you how to do stuff like this, where you're painting it up and you're finishing your models for display in your home or in your office or your man cave or your woman cave. 93%, speaking of which, 93% of people that watch this show are not subscribed. That was our stat from 2022. So we want to bring that up. We're restructuring the channel a little bit. I want to bring you guys in on that. Pretty soon we are going to be, I'm going to restructure YouTube memberships so that there's just going to be one membership. And it's just to help support the show. I'm going to get the Discord back from Brian so that we can do a lot of stuff with the Discord, and I'm going to be working on the Patreon as well. And another big announcement today, we are going to be streaming, not today, but come next week, we are going to be streaming to not only YouTube, but we are going to be streaming to Facebook and to Twitch, all coming next week. So you want to be around for that. If you're a Twitch watcher, it might be a great place to catch us. If you're a Facebook watcher, that's also going to be another place to catch us, and I'll be able to see all the chat. I have to work on getting that chat incorporated in. But HVAC A to Z says, good afternoon and Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, Happy New Year. Let's get a little bit of this in there. Yeah, that looks about good. And we'll get a little bit of this in there. And I am going to be working with Mallix 3D a little bit more. I'm going to work with some of our other partners as well, model-wise, a little bit more here in the new year as well. Yeah, so it's Michael Castle. He says, "Hey, Sergio." I don't know, is Sergio here? I hope Sergio's here. Sergio is, we've got a lot of Sergio Mallix. If you haven't checked his stuff out, it's Mallix 3D. What a great guy. Gotta love it. I love all the stuff that he does, and we've been friends for many, many years now. The official ambassador of the mulatto race. He says, "Hi, how can I tell if my turtle is gay?" I don't know. I really have no idea how you can tell that. It is what it is, I guess. You know, I look at the world like this. To each his own. Yeah, to each his own. Oh, okay, Michael oh, that's me, Sergio, HVAC A to C. I didn't know your first name was Sergio. All these years you've been on the show, and I didn't know your name was Sergio. Well, now I know. I want to raise my glass to everybody here. I know I took a drink before that, but I want to raise my glass to everybody here in going forward in 2023 and wish you all the best in 2023. I also would like to ask you all, if you could please, to keep our good friend Peter Reynolds in your minds and hearts. Unfortunately, he was readmitted to hospital just the other day. He gave me a call yesterday. I will be calling him after the show. And we'll talk to him and see how he's doing. But please raise your glass and keep him in your thoughts and in your hearts. Hopefully he gets better very, very soon. And we hope to see him back on the channel, asking his questions in the chat as he was famous for doing every Sunday. All right. My name is Sergio. Oh, okay. There you go. Sergio. Cheers. Cheers. RT, new member. Welcome to the First Layer. So RT just became a member. We do have memberships. It's something that I said we were going to restructure, and we are going to restructure memberships going forward. You're going to see new graphics, all kinds of great things. We've got a new setup here. We've got new hardware. Lots of monitors. I have a laptop, 2, 3 monitors, 4 monitors, audio, camera. We've got stuff going on in the back. I'm printing one of the projects that we're going to be discussing here in an upcoming video. How can I get my girlfriend just by driving around drunk? How can I get, well, you can't, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, those are not the kind of questions that we ask here in the First Layer, but yeah. We do have Super Chat turned on. I am working on a new Super Chat way of thanking you guys. Otherwise than that, it's just me going Super Chat for now, and I do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. My goal this year is to put this channel over 50,000 subscribers. We're at 33,550 roughly, and that's been building up over the past 5 years, and I really want to push it over that 50,000 mark. I really hope that you will help me, and I hope that you will push that forward for me. If you know somebody that's into 3D printing, please share our channel with them. It would really go a long way. Leave a comment. Leave a like on this video. I see we only have 16 likes, but we got 18 people here. Yeah, it's a real pain in the butt-ski. We got to get those likes up. That all helps my metrics, guys. It really goes a long way to helping the metrics and helping getting this channel in front of other people. People that may need our help. My goal has always been to help anybody in the 3D printing space as best I can with knowledge and with help for the 3D printing issues, whether that be with your hardware, your software, or materials that you're using. Over at filaments.ca, all I'm doing is answering questions about materials because I get materials in here all the time from them. I get to test them on a variety of printers. With Lulzbot's new printer coming to me, it will be the Taz Sidekick 747. If you guys would like to see that on a live stream, an unboxing in that on next week's live stream, please put yes in the comments. I'd really like to know if that's something you guys want to see me do on live streams, and I will do my best to do that and not open it prior to that, to doing that unboxing and build video. Otherwise, I'll just do an unboxing and build video, and then we'll do other videos. So if you want to see next week me do a live unboxing and build and first startup of the Lulzbot Taz Sidekick 747, please put yes in the chat today. Otherwise, I'll just save it for a video. What else we got going? You know, we're 18 minutes in and nobody's really asked much in terms of questions. That's really odd. It is really, really odd. Yeah, Geraldine's on the ball today. She's deleting messages that have nothing to do with the topic of what we're doing. So coming up, like I said, I'm going to be doing 50 projects this year that I think I think that the 50 projects that I'm going to do this year are going to be interesting because I really want to get a lot more content out this year. Last year, I barely got any out. And it was really it was a pain. It really was a pain for me not to get out, but circumstances what they were. Now I'm fresh, I'm healthy, we're good to go. Fly for Jesus is asking, is your main occupation or do you have an occupation outside streaming? No, this is my main occupation. This is what I do. This is what I've chosen to do. I'm turning 58 years old in 2023, and my body doesn't quite work the way it used to. Back in the day, I could go and lift and move around giant concrete blocks and things like that, but my body just does not take it anymore. But this is what I do. My job, and something that I decided to do years ago, was to help people with their 3D printing problems. And I did have a side job, and I still do have a side job. Filaments.ca is not my main occupation. This is my main occupation. I only work part-time for Filaments.ca. So I do answer questions regarding their products. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to see a lot more products from them in the future as well. RT, yes, he says yes. There's the Apprentice 2021. He says, hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. You're very, very welcome, Fly for Jesus. I know day drinking, not a good thing, but it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be live streaming starting next week. I'm going to be live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm also going to be bringing on guests this year. I have plans to bring on some very notable people in the 3D printing space. And some of my friends in the 3D printing space. And DeWitt and I have talked a little bit, and there are some ideas there back and forth. We're encouraging each other to grow our channels this year, and I really want to help him do that as well. DeWitt's a great guy. Tim is DeWitt 3D. Go and check out his channel. Tim, put a link to your channel in the chat today, please. And I encourage everybody to go. If you haven't subbed to him, sub to him. He's doing some great stuff over there with Vorons. And he's kind of becoming my source for Voron information. RT says, question, your take on dual extruder printers. What's my take on dual extruder printers? Well, They're good when they work. Do I want one? No, not really. Have I used them? Yes. I think that right now there's still a lot of work that has to be done. There's some great strides being made. Prusa is doing a great job with multi-head extruders and multi-tool heads. Do I like the way that dual extruders have been set up until now? Not really, because they can cause problems. And I've had a few printers in here that have had dual extruders, and while they seem to work okay, when it comes to color mixing, they can be a problem. And depending on the slicer that you're using, that can also be a problem. So there we go. There's DeWitt's. Oh, geez, just took me right to it. Go back. Go back. There we go. Hey, there's Henry Stofferin, who became a subscriber again and a member as well. Happy New Year to you as well, Henry. We look forward to seeing your questions. I want to put Tim. There's Tim's YouTube channel. Go ahead, everybody, and please subscribe to Tim. Yeah, I shouldn't have my mouse down there. Please subscribe to Tim's channel, DeWitt 3D Canada. Like I said, he's doing some great stuff with Vorons over there, and just an amazing guy. And I can't say enough good things about him. Him and I have been helping each other over the last few months. I've helped him with some audio video stuff, and he's helped me with he always helps me with printing and things like that. You'll also be able to find Tim and I live this year at Maker Faire, which is happening. Let me just open up my calendar here real quick. Which is happening in it is May 13th and 14th. We will see Maker Faire here in Calgary once again. And Maker Faire is an amazing show and tell. It really is an amazing show and tell. That is where you can find everything from 3D printing to rug making to robot building. All kinds of stuff go on there. And I really hope that if you're in the Calgary area, May 14th and 15th, come and check out Tim and I both at Maker Faire. I'll be emceeing that show again this year. I did it last year, and I had a blast. And Tim and I will both be there showing off 3D printers, showing off 3D prints, and just having a great time. Jose Ferreira, he says, hi there, everyone. Hi, and Happy New Year to you as well. My lovely wife says, I subscribe to Tim. Ricky B says, I really enjoy watching Tim on DeWitt 3D. His live streams are educational and entertaining. That they are. That they are. RT, my good friend Richard Taylor, he says, any advice on starting a print farm? Don't do it. Unless you have clients right now, or you have some sort of customer base that you can build on, you probably, and I know Richard very well, he's got a couple of printers in his stable, but at the end of the day, how do you go about charging that? That's always been the biggest question. How do you go about charging for that? And it is really, really tough. I don't always say, you know, start a print farm if you got printers, but if you want to make a little bit of extra money, yeah, maybe you can do it. Etsy is a great place to put your stuff up on. Use Facebook Marketplace and things like that. Try and do it with no money. Etsy takes a fair chunk of change from you, from my understanding, but it's something to try. But if you want to build a print farm and you've got clientele and you think it's something that you can do, all the power to you. All the power to you. Henry Stoffer, and I'm glad I did not miss the stream today. We're glad you didn't miss it either. DeWitt saying thank you to everybody. Matt, hi everyone. Matt Gurman, another gentleman we haven't seen in a while. And that's my fault. Ricky B says, RT, when you have a print farm, make sure you clean up the dung daily. Yeah, I have that problem as well. If you really look behind me, there's a lot of crap in the background. My live streams aren't going to go much longer than an hour. Hey, there's Henry. Give us a little emoji there. Yeah, make sure that you clean up. I have a real problem. I've had to get garbage cans all over my studio here so that I can keep things clean. But with more printers coming, I may actually have to set up a shelf right over here that has all my printers on it, which I won't be able to run during show because then, of course, that noise will come through. But RT, yeah, LOL. Everybody's saying hi to Matt. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Matt, for sure, for sure. But we are back every week, every Sunday at 2 p.m. I'm back every Sunday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to be here to answer your calls. And speaking of calls, we have, let's get that toll-free number up. This is our toll-free number going forward, 855-891-4275. The phone is up and running right now, so if somebody wanted to phone in and just wish us a Happy New Year, or just if you've got a question, go ahead and call that number. It is toll-free, 855-891-4275. I look forward to having you on the show, asking your questions. And I wanted to add this feature this year because I thought it was important, because sometimes I can't keep up with the chat. And if you call in, we can have a little conversation. We're going to keep it short. Try and keep your questions to one question at a time. If you got your question answered, I always ask that you use the super chat. It really helps out. If you're asking a question on the chat, please put a Q in front of it. That way I know that you're asking a question. And RT, my good friend Richard, has been doing that. So it's something that I'm going to try and get everybody in the habit of doing. Got a lot of stuff, like I said, that I really want to get going there. Hey, there's Mark Baker. He says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to you as well, Mr. Baker. Again, 855-891-4275 is the number to call if you want to be on the show today and ask your question, or just wish everybody a Happy New Year. And Ben Brady, another good friend of mine, longtime friend. Happy New Year, y'all. That's that Southern Texan thing going on, y'all. I don't do it well, but but there is the number, 855-891-4275 to call. And Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you guys had a good New Year's last night. I will tell you from my experience, the older I get, the less I want to stay up till midnight. And it's just my wife and I now. We don't have her parents with us anymore. Unfortunately, they passed away. But my wife and I have been on our own now without anybody living with us for a year and a bit now. And I got to tell you that I'm super, super old, I guess, because I'm in bed usually by 8 o'clock at night. I don't stay up past midnight. It doesn't say that I stay asleep, but you know, I do. I go to bed early, and I usually watch a little TV, and then I fall asleep with the timer on the TV. So we went to bed at 10 last night. Yes, we did. We stayed up a little later last night, that's for sure. Henry Stofferin says, bought a new Ender 5 Plus yesterday. Excellent. I look forward to answering any questions you're going to have about that. Brent says, midnight was a struggle for Christy and I, but you know what? Now that we've crossed that threshold, Ben, and this is for everybody, now that we've crossed that threshold, I got to tell you, I feel renewed. I woke up this morning, I felt renewed, even though I didn't have a great sleep last night. I never have a great sleep. I'm an insomniac. But I woke up with a renewed sense of purpose this morning, and I can't tell you how much I am excited about 2023. Like I said, growing the channel this year, my goal is to hit 50,000 plus subscribers. We're at 33,540 something right now. I really want to get there, and I can only do it with your help, and I can only do it by giving you guys good content and good information this year. Henry says, that makes 6 printers now. Holy Christmas. That is a lot of printers. My goodness. My goodness. 6 printers. That's not a lot of printers. I've had more. Right now, I typically use 2, maybe 3 printers at a time. Using the printers that I have, I use the Prusa Mark III S just about daily. I use the CR-10 from Creality, the CR-10 V2 almost daily as well. I will be using the Lulzbot Taz Sidekick quite a bit moving forward. You know, as we move forward, we're dumping the junk and we're keeping what's good. We're going to do more resin printing this year. Again, we're going to do more finishing this year. So I'll be showing you how to do that. We're going to do a little bit more with robotics this year. What else are we going to, and we've got projects, all kinds of them. It sounded like a war zone last night with all the fireworks and the gunshots. Wow. Andy Mock says, I'm an insomniac as well. Very tough getting rested. Yeah, it's very tough getting rested. You're right. Tried so many things and nothing has helped or worked. I've found a few things that have helped me go to sleep at night. My problem is turning this off. My brain is always constantly going, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? But I've gotten myself a lot more organized now, using tools to help me get organized, to help me produce the shows and the episodes and the live streams and everything that I need to produce moving into 2023. I've started using them for the last few weeks, just getting used to getting into that routine of using them. And, you know, that's the same thing with 3D printing. I mean, the more that you use something, the better you get at it. The more that you do moving forward in terms of 3D printing, the more of an authority you're going to become on it as well. And then you'll just leave my channel and start your own. And I encourage everybody to move forward and, you know, explore the world, help people. Pay it forward. That's what I always say. Pay it forward. My wife says she heard a lot of fireworks last night too. I didn't hear any. I don't know why I didn't hear any. So many models, so little time, Richard. Yes, there are so many models. And I picked 50 models for 2023 that I'm going to print. I'm going to show you how we put them together. We're going to show you what the use of them are for, and they are all useful 3D prints. No more garbage. No more benchies. Well, that's not true. We are going to talk about benchies when we talk about new filaments. We're also going to talk about temperature towers. You guys know this is my favorite right here. I love doing temperature towers, and it's something I encourage everybody to do. Temperature towers are a must. And if you don't do temperature towers, you're really not serving yourself any benefit. You really should do a temperature tower when you get a new roll of filament. It does a couple of things. One, it shows you if the filament, first of all, is any good. Secondly, it's going to show you what the best printing temperature is. And thirdly, it's going to show you where you may need to add some attention to in your slicer, whether that be to retraction or so on. Met 1971, he says, I listened to a podcast with headphones and a sleep mask out in about 5 minutes. You know, I tried doing that. I've been reading a lot of new books moving forward on how to improve things on my channel and how to make things better. And they're pretty broad and pretty general. However, when I start listening to them, I read along with audiobooks. I don't know, does anybody else do that? I read along with audiobooks. I think that if you're reading along with audiobooks, you can, to me, it helps me retain that information. So usually I'll get the audiobook because I'm signed up to Audible anyway, so I get a credit every month. And then if it's a book that I really want to read, I will get that on the Kobo or Kindle app, and then I'll read along while I'm listening to the audiobook. And it helps me to retain more information. The older I get, I find that that's something that I have to do. But listening to a book by itself, I'm out in about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, I can't do it just by listening. Listen to Tom and Stefan, and you'll never fall asleep. Yeah, Tom and Stefan, two great guys. My wife says no, I'm weird. But yeah, Tom and Stefan, two great guys. Tom's 3D, and Stefan, CNC Kitchen. Two great channels to check out. These guys are so technical. They're two guys I recommend to everybody. Just looking at how long we've been on. It's 2:37. We still got lots of time. Yeah, my wife says I'm weird. I am weird. I am weird. But yeah, those two channels are great channels for education. I don't always agree with them, but they are both engineers. So I am not. For lack of a better term, I am not an engineer, and basically everything I've learned about 3D printing I've taught myself, and all of my experience in 3D printing is self-taught. So it's something that I want to continue to do and continue to learn. So Andy Mocky says, I can read a book. My head starts to bob. Once I get pretty bad, put the book down, lay down right away, wide awake. I can do it over and over. Head still bob as I read and no sleep. Yeah, we've kind of got off track today, but that's okay. Let's put that back up. That's okay. It's as we move into 2023, we just have to make adjustments in our life. Just like in our 3D printing, when we run into a problem, we have to make adjustments. And we're going to have to do the same that way as well. But I find that I learn better when I listen and I read. That's just kind of the way I've always been, even as a kid. I was horrible in school. Absolutely horrible in school. Couldn't pay attention. Teachers, nah. I was more interested in what was going on around me than what the teacher was saying. But if I was reading and they were dictating what was being said, I followed along much better and I retained way more information. And I'm still like that today. Oh, wow. Okay. So, no. Henry says, if I remember correctly, I am older than you, even if we share the same birthday. Yes, I believe you are a little older than I am, Henry. Not by much, though. I don't think you're by much. I'm 58 in 2023 in April. I've been one of the guys I've been working with, and I've had some discussions with about doing something very special for the channel that is not 3D printed, but I think it's going to be a little bit of an entertaining piece. I've been talking with my good friend, Ben, not Ben Brady. I've been drinking too much today. Anyway, but Ben, my other friend, he works in the film and movie industry, and he's a great guy, and we're going to be doing some really cool stuff moving forward this year as well. Henry says he's 60 this coming year. Good for you, man. Good for you. Ricky B says, I've been thinking about live streaming my next 4 builds. I have a Voron 2.4 350 V1 and a Soval SV-06 and an ERCF to build. Wow, I would love to see those. Christy thinks watching the printer is like watching paint dry, but after 8 years, I still think it's fascinating. I have that same thing, Ben. I have that same thing. What do you think will be the game changer in 3D printing in 2023? Bamboo made a huge splash in 2022. Will the ripples continue into this year? I believe that they will. Bamboo, I've taken a look at their printer, and this thing is, for all intent and purposes, a game changer. The speeds that thing can hit are amazing. The print quality is absolutely amazing. I think that we're going to start to see that the comings of the 64-bit boards. We're going to move from 32 to 64-bit. That's my prediction in 2023. We are going to see far more capability in the 3D printer. Now, are prices going to continue to drop in 2023? I don't think so. I think we're going to see a stabilization of the market. Everybody rushed to get out Ender 3 clones over the last couple of years, and everybody took a Maker's Muse, Angus over at Maker's Muse, he put this really well in his predictions. He said that everybody raced to the bottom to get the lowest price printer out on the market, and he's absolutely right about that. They did. And now we're starting to see those printers coming out that can compete head-to-head with people like Prusa, people like Ultimaker, people like MakerBot, people like FlashForge. We're seeing this come to life, and I think that innovation is going to continue. We're going to see more robust 3D printers ahead. We're also going to see less, I think we're going to see less of the DIY, and I think we're going to see more of complete units. Take it out of the box, set it up, start printing. No fuss, no muss. And Bamboo really kind of kicked the door down on that one. And I'm looking forward to seeing a Bamboo hopefully here in the studio. Ben says, Ben Eady. Yes, Ben Eady is the gentleman I was talking about. Printing the nightmare before Christmas drink coasters. I'm sure you meant drink coasters. Geraldine is saying Bamboo looks so cool. It does look cool. When will streaming a 3D printing become a thing, like to watch people gaming? I was going to say I don't think that's something that's going to be mainstream, but I can be a little bit wrong about that, because I know that Chris Pirillo, for anybody that's been a part of the online community for any number of years, knows who Chris Pirillo is. I first was introduced to Chris Pirillo back about 10 years ago. And my understanding, and Tim can back me up on this, is he's got a Twitch channel that's all they do is stream 3D printing. And it's just 3D printers printing. And it's a very popular channel from what I understand. So maybe there's something to be said about watching things 3D print. I'm going to experiment with it. I'll try it. Yeah, and my wife says gaming moves a lot faster than watching 3D printing, and you're not wrong about that. HVAC A to Z says, I think Bamboo Labs set a new bar for 3D printers. They absolutely did. They absolutely did. Yeah, there you go. DeWitt is saying it already is. Look at MakerDeck over on Twitch. Twitch is the place to go and find this. MakerDeck is the channel to look for over there. And I think that it's going to be something that really pushes forward. You can't learn anything from a pre-made printer. Always got to know how to fix them. Yeah. But we've had that generation, Henry, and I'm going to say this, that as we get further and further forward on the advancements in 3D printing, we are going to see more and more take it out of the box, plug it in, start using it type of printers. And the reason I say that is back in the day when we were buying parts to build our computers, if we wanted a specialized computer, we had to build it. And 3D printing went through that whole evolution of if you wanted a good 3D printer, you had to build it. Now, there are companies that have said, look, people don't want that. People want to buy a toaster. When you go in, you don't have to build it. You take it out of the box, you plug it in, you put your toast in, it works. And I believe in that to some degree. And I think Bamboo Labs really hit the nail on the head with what they did this year with their X1 Carbon or their Carbon X1 and the P1P. And I think that the P1P has some availability to do skin upgrades and that sort of thing. And you can add things to it as you go forward. So I think that that's something that we should really watch. We should really watch for. Andy Mox says, Geraldine Ham, very true, but stranger things have happened. I was being a bit silly with the question. It's not a silly question at all. I think I'm not going to answer that question for Matt because I think he said drink coaster. Dwayne King. Hey, welcome, Dwayne King. Maker Deck on Twitch. Yes, Maker Deck on Twitch. Benny Brady, he said, oh, well, let's go to Ricky B first. He says, I heard of Twitch, but I don't know anything about it. Twitch is another streaming platform, just like YouTube is. Twitch was primarily for gamers for the longest time. It was where all the big gamers went and streamed their live gameplay, but it has started to evolve into even more. And Twitch, if I'm not mistaken, is owned by Amazon. So they are trying to diversify and get not just gamers on there, but they want to get other types of content like 3D printing on there as well. I give my left testicle for a Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon and the AMD. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't give body parts, but I hope that there's something coming my way this year. I think pre-made or not, you'll always end up learning to repair, build, or you won't be printing long. And I agree with that statement as well, Met 1971. If you buy a printer, some printers are so proprietary that it's really tough to do any kinds of upgrades on them. It's a good thing that we have printers like the Prusa, like the Crealities of the worlds, where you can do some sort of off-the-shelf upgrading to them. And I'm going to sneeze. I think I'm going to sneeze. But at the end of the day, I think that the buy it, use it. I mean, when we go and buy a power tool like a saw or table saw or anything like that, there's very, very little setup to do on them. Maybe you got to tighten a bolt here or unscrew something there. And you're up and running. You're using it. You're using that tool. And 3D printers are the same thing. They're tools. And I think we're going to see a lot more tools like that as we move forward. And I think we are going to move into that generation where, okay, I want a 3D printer. Which is the best one for my budget? Which one do I want to learn with? I am always going to recommend an Ender 3 as somebody's first 3D printer. Because you can learn so much from an Ender 3, then I would move up to other printers like a Prusa or like a Bamboo or a Voron even. Nobody says that about PCs and such anymore, but we used to 1980s. Yeah, I think 3D printing can't go mainstream until it's essentially plug and play. And yeah, that's something I was just saying. I don't think it's going to be as fully mainstream until it's plug and play. You're absolutely right about that. And when it becomes plug and play, guess what? There's going to be a lot more people into it. Look what happened with computers. When they became plug and play, when you could go to the store and buy a pre-made computer and take it home, plug it in, Windows worked, and all your programs were there, no fuss, no muss. You're up and running. Your whole family could use it. That's why laptops are so popular, because we're in a generation where laptops are just basically throwaway. But I don't think 3D printers are going to get to that point. There have been some that have been throwaway in my opinion, but at the end of the day, I think that they are going to be plug and play. HVAC A to Z. And if you're a Prime member, you can subscribe to channels on Twitch. That's something I did not know about. That is something I did not know about. With the X1 Carbon, it's almost plug and play. Yeah, absolutely it is. And slices are getting easier also, just because people who want to do the hobby are looking for an easy way. And, you know, Geraldine's not wrong about that. Slicers are getting easier to use. There have been so many slicers out there in the wild. I know that Prusa slicer is one of the bigger ones. Cura is also another big one. Both have paid and free options. Matter Control. We've got Idea Maker and Simplify 3D, which when I got into 3D printing, I hated Cura. Absolutely hated it. I hated all the other slicers out there on the market because they just weren't intuitive at that time. Even though that they were free, they weren't intuitive. I found when I got into Simplify 3D, it was very intuitive. Now, we're going to be discussing in an upcoming episode what I think they did right, what I think they did wrong with Simplify 3D version 5. And I know there's a huge debate and we don't have enough time to get into that today, but watch Wednesday's episode. I'm going to kind of run you through some of the basics about what they say is better about it. We're going to talk about some of the pros and cons on Wednesday. So make sure that you check that episode. If you're not already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. By hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification, you're going to get notified every time I do a live stream and every time that I put up a brand new episode, whether that be a clip or a short or a brand new full-length episode about something that we're talking about. Make sure that you are subscribed to that. If you're a member, thank you very much for being a member and being a part of our little group. I got to build that back up again. I do have some work to do there. I've got, in all honesty, I have to regain your trust again this year because last year was a shit show. And that's the best way I can put it. I can only say I'm sorry. But there was a lot of things going on that really prevented me from being at the top of my game. And this year's a whole lot different. RT says, I hear that the Neptune 3 series are pretty good. I'm going to have a look at those as well. I'm going to see if we can't get some of these new printers in. I feel that it's important to be able to show off this technology. Ricky B says, I started with a Prusa, then I got an Ender 3. I started with a, I don't even remember the name of it now, but it was a crappy, it was a Hicktop 3D P08. There it is. Just had to pull it back forward. The Hicktop 3D P08, what a piece of garbage. But then I built a Prusa clone from that. And then I built a Wilson 2 from that. And then I got into my first off-the-shelf printer, which was a Wanhao. And, you know, I got to tell you that as I move forward through my 3D printing journey, I didn't get a Prusa until just last year, year before last. And I'd never finished setting it up because I had too many other printers that I had on the go. And I do like the printers that I have. I've got a 2 Trees Bluer Plus, really like that printer. I've got some resin printers, one from Creality and one from Phrozen that I really like, and I hope to doing more resin printing this year. And I know that you guys want to see more resin printing as well. Yeah, if you Prime, I like Prime. Ben Brady saying Simplify 3D isn't worth the money with all of the new features in free slicers. And to some degree, I'm going to agree with you on that. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. Andy Mock, Bamboo are very nice units, but more than I can justify to spend for hobby use. I would agree with that, Andy. Depending on what printers you're using now, at the US price, I believe they were coming in at around $700. At the end of the day, I think that the Bamboo is in that sweet spot of price to performance. So if they're about $700 or $800 or $900 or $1,000, whatever they are, they're right on par with a Prusa. And Prusa is a very expensive machine for what you get. And you don't nearly get the same features that you're getting with the Bamboo from what I can tell on paper. RT says, first printer, ANET A8. Luckily, I never burned down my house. Geraldine says, I love the resin. And Dwayne King says, I have the Ender 3. I just added the direct drive and prints are coming out very nice. Yeah, the direct drive is a great upgrade for that. HVAC says, I've built several 3D printers from scratch. Love doing it. I think it's a must if you're getting into 3D printing. And to some degree, I will agree with that. But there's enough kits out there that you can certainly do and learn. So how do I set up both my Ender 5s in Cura? I believe Cura, the latest version of Cura, has a profile in there for the Ender 5. Just have a look. Bamboo P1P equals 700 US. 700 US? That's not bad, especially for what you're getting. On the Carbon 1X or X1, I'm really stoked about what they've been doing in terms of the LiDAR. Like how that thing does its bed leveling just amazes me. Absolutely just amazes me. RT says, Dwayne, I did the same thing, best upgrade conversion. Do you guys want to see some of those upgrades and conversions this year? I haven't done many of those in quite a while. I've got a Ender 3. I actually think I have two Ender 3s here. Yeah, I would like to do a conversion. I think that would be good. Fly for Jesus, he says, in 1996, I spent $600 on a Sony Trinitron 17-inch monitor for my PC. It's silly what we spend money on, and I can see Bamboo getting people excited, especially new makers. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Ben saying that the Carbon X1 is $999. Yeah, it's all honesty, I am not upset about that price at all. Yes, that's USD, so in Canada that's going to be roughly around $1,300, 13 or $1,400. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say that the Carbon X1 is still, on paper, it's looking like a superior printer to the Prusa in a lot of ways. I know Prusa's got their add-ons and they've got their new multi-material one or multi-head one. But at the end of the day, the Carbon X1 is really shaking up the street, as it were. HVAC A to Z, I have the X1 Carbon and it's an amazing printer. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about that at some time, Sergio. I'm very interested in the X1 Carbon, and I have reached out to Bamboo. Just reached out to them yesterday, and we'll see if there's something that we can do here on the First Layer with one of their printers. I would love to either have a P1P here in the studio or have one of the Carbon X1s, just to show you guys what's available. And I know there's been a few people that have done videos on them, but at the end of the day, we're a problem-solving YouTube channel, and we're an education YouTube channel, and that's what I want to keep moving forward. And the only way to educate people about what's new on the market is to have it here in the studio. So something that I definitely want to do. Oh, look at that. We went a full hour today. Again, thank you everybody for being a part of my community. This is just not my community. This is your community as well. This channel is not just mine, it's yours as well. And I consider everybody that tunes in to be part of our family. If you're over on Facebook, I hope that you will you'll be a part of our group over there. If you're not, you'll be able to see a whole bunch more stuff coming in the coming weeks, and we're going to do a lot more stuff moving forward. Tim says, I know someone unboxing a P1P today. Oh, Tim's got one. Well, I'll have to go over there and check it out then. Howdy, Tim. Direct drive is only $50 on Amazon. You get all the parts you need, stepper motors, extruder, and hot end. Okay, Dwayne, I'll definitely look that up. Please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. I do appreciate that. Take care, all Andy Mock says. Again, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so that you get notified. Dominic Versetto, there we go. I haven't seen Dominic all day today. He says the carbon is not for those of us who love modifying our gear. No, it is definitely not. Don't forget to like. Henry says, again, thank you. We've run an hour today, and we're going to shut her down for today, and I will see you guys on Wednesday with a brand new episode about Simplify 3D and my look at Simplify 3D version 5. It'll be about 20 minutes long, and watch for lots of shorts and some other stuff coming your way in the upcoming weeks and days. I do appreciate you all. Thank you. I hope the 2023 is good to each and every one of you. And please, again, remember my friend Peter Reynolds, who is back in hospital. Until I see you next time, remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great 3D print and 3D printer. So I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.